Here we have a roll that the seller on eBay has claimed is 120 years old. They said that they got it in an estate sale and that these coins were rolled up around that time and were left there ever since. Now, I'm not exactly sure based on the quality of this paper how true that is. I don't know too much about old bankroll paper, and I also feel like that this seems to be pretty high quality and in pretty good shape for such a story to be true. But we're going to find out today whether or not I actually got scammed. Now, you might be thinking, why would someone pay so much money, $270, like you saw in the thumbnail there, just for an old roll of pennies? Well, my hope is that these coins are actually going to be in really good shape, and I would be able to sell them for, let's say, $10 or $15 a piece, and that would be $500 or $750 back on my investment. Now, I'm the one who's taking a gamble by buying these. The person didn't really have much established feedback or anything, so if I do get scammed, I would say it's on me. I took a risk. At the same time, I impulsively just decided to bid when I saw the person claiming that the roll was as old as it was, and we're going to find out together what exactly happened. Sorry for the really bad angle here. I'm doing my best, but as a single cameraman and I guess purveyor of coins, I do have a lot on my plate. In all seriousness, though, I am actually really hoping that these coins turn out to be in good shape. The ones on the end, I don't know if I even showed you those or not, and you can see they actually have some decent detail, so that gives me hope that maybe these ones were a little bit worn from being on the end, and the rest of the coins actually are going to look nice. So let's see what ends up coming out of here together. Now that already, the different colors and stuff already has me a little bit wary, because I feel like that with that level of different aging already on the coins, unless there's going to be coins from like the 1850s and 60s in here and such, I just don't really see how the coins would have such a large amount of wear on them. And maybe that happens quicker than I realize. Of course, I really don't know. But let's, wow, that was really a great rollout there. So yeah, let me get back to you guys, but I'm gonna go and have to say that this was definitely not a great purchase. So now I got a hold of the camera here, but yeah, a lot of the coins are not exactly looking to be. I mean, they're not in terrible shape. Don't get me wrong. Some, well, some of them are not in terrible shape, but let me see if there's like any sort of rhyme or reason to these coins that look worse. Like, look at this one right here, right? Now, to be fair, that coin is from 1861, so I could be wrong. I mean, if you look at this coin, if you could say, all right, well, this was rolled up, let's say in 1902, if this coin was 40 years old, maybe it would already have some wear and tear on it. That is pretty fair. But at the same time, I'm just not quite sure. I also would have to say, though, that based on looking at these coins right off the bat here, I'm not really sure that I'd be able to sell these, at least a lot of these, for like $10 a piece or anything, because a lot of them are just pretty worn. I'm going to have to look up some equivalent things on eBay. But like that one, for example, like 1902, if this roll was that year, I mean, if this coin literally looked like that the year it came out, then I have to wonder, like, what was this coin through exactly, Because it should not be that worn down, I don't think. These coins, especially back then, were made of metals that really did keep them in pretty good shape. And to be fair, the back looks nice. I mean, it's not terrible, and I wouldn't say that this was like the worst purchase ever. I would think that I could sell these coins for at least like $3 or $5 a piece or something. I mean, some of them are definitely in decent shape, but of course, if anyone in the comments wants to weigh in, you guys can let me know as well. But I am going to separate them all so you can see a full view of everything real quick. From what I can see here, the roll was definitely not from 1900 or around that time. I mean, some of the coins in here I found, I think one of them was like 1905, for example, so it had to have been later than 120 years ago. But beyond that, I also do think that realistically, this was probably a little later than that, or maybe even a lot later than that, and I probably did just get a little deceived. However, the coins in here, they're definitely a good mix of dates, and some of them I do actually think I could sell for a decent little bit, like this. I'm trying not to get the shadow on it here, but this 1884, it's actually in decent shape. I mean, the camera doesn't pick it up amazingly, but it does have a nice kind of red coloring, and it has a lot of detail. And that's the other thing, is a lot of these coins do look like maybe they were actually only circulated for like 30 or 40 years and then pulled out, because a lot of them do have decent details on them. A lot of them are also dirty, to be fair, but I do think that they would actually grade somewhat decently. And I also do think that there's a chance I could at least get my money back. Do I think it's going to be a big payday or anything like that? Probably not. But let's hope I can at least break even. That would be my goal. Get back after shipping and all that. So hopefully maybe get like, I don't know, like 300-400 from selling them in total. Enough. Well, with eBay costs and everything, it's gonna have to be a little bit more than what I paid, obviously. But with that being said, I really appreciate you tuning into my first video ever. If you end up being interested in a follow-up on how I did from this, or you want to see any other videos like it, let me know in the comments, and I really do appreciate your time. Peace.